Hi, Sarah. Thank you for joining me today for this Alderley podcast. Something a little bit different today, as this week is Mental Health Awareness Week. So I know that it's something that you're passionate about, and obviously no matter what industry you're in, no matter what role you have, it's such an important topic, and I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Thanks, Rain.
So to start with, there may be some people that aren't aware of what Mental Health Awareness Week is. So could you explain what exactly it is and why it is so important?
Yes, certainly. So Mental Health Awareness Week was started by the Mental Health Foundation over 21 years ago, and it's now grown to be one of the biggest awareness weeks across the UK and globally. It takes place annually each May, and the Mental Health Foundation set a theme and organise activities and resources to provide the opportunity for people and organisations to think about and focus on achieving good mental health. Mental health is an incredibly important topic. Every person has mental health, and it impacts every area of people's lives from childhood through to adulthood. Positive mental health is as important as good physical health, but they're not always treated or viewed the same. And there's still some stigma that remains for those experiencing poor mental health, and that really shouldn't be so.
Absolutely. So the theme this Mental Health Week is loneliness. So could you please explain a little bit about why it is so important, especially now more than ever, to work more collaboratively?
Yeah, great question. So this year's topic of loneliness is one that affects more and more of us in our lives. It can have a huge impact on both our physical and our mental health. And connections with others and our communities are fundamental to positive mental health outcomes. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we've all experienced huge changes to our lives and the connections we have with our families, our friends, colleagues, and communities. Many of us have seen our working lives change dramatically as we've moved to home working, and even those that were not able to work from home had to adapt to working in a more socially distanced manner. Technology, of course, has clearly been vital in enabling us to remain connected and to collaborate with others. At Alderley, collaboration is highly valued within our organisation. Strong connections and collaboration with our colleagues are consistently demonstrated, which is really great to see. While sort of COVID resulted in, I'd say, arguably the biggest period of physical isolation we've ever experienced, I would say that within Alderley, like many other organisations, we've become more connected and collaborative as we've all had glimpses into our lives outside of the workplace and the different challenges that we face and experience individually in our lives. That sort of window into people's lives really supports us in bringing our whole authentic selves to work, which I believe is really, really important.
100% agree. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.
What kind of things do Alderley do as a business to support mental health and wellbeing, and in your role personally?
Yeah, so we have a number of ways that we support mental health and wellbeing. Firstly, from the very top of the organisation, our CEO demonstrates a firm commitment to the wellbeing of all of our people, recognising they're our biggest asset. At our global town hall briefings, wellbeing is first on the agenda, ensuring it remains forefront. And we ask all of our managers to ensure they are committed to support the wellbeing of their teams. Building on from that, we have a number of trained mental health first aiders who are available to support all our people if they may be experiencing challenges or mental health issues. The mental health first aiders aren't just there when called upon either. It kind of goes beyond that. They actively reach out to colleagues to start conversations with people that encourage them to open up and discuss any worries they may have. They make time and they take time to notice the small signs that often exist when people may be experiencing issues such as stress, anxiety, loneliness. We also provide our staff with access to an employee assistance programme. They can access counselling, support and advice on a range of topics, including mental health issues, physical health issues, financial health and overall wellbeing. We also have our staff enrolled on a health cash plan where they can reclaim for costs towards treatments that can positively support mental health. And also they can access a range of additional wellness services, including apps which contain access to, again, things like counselling, CBT and meditation. We obviously regularly cascade information and resources out to our staff to support all areas of health and wellbeing. And sort of personally in my role as the HR and Payroll manager, I'm really proud to champion and administer many of these initiatives. Additionally, I'm a trained mental health first aider, and I try to be a colleague that thinks about and supports others to ensure that they are thriving both professionally and personally, and one that is also not afraid to reach out for support when they may need it.
That's brilliant. Thank you. And lastly, as we just wrap up, what key message would you like to leave everyone with for Mental Health Awareness Week?
Great question. I think the key message for me is that I'd like to finish with is to say that while Mental Health Awareness Week is very important, we also need to ensure that we're always looking after our own mental health and supporting others each and every day. Don't be afraid to reach out for support if you need it, and don't be afraid to give support to others too. Again, for me personally, I'm always available to anyone who needs to talk, and I can be reached in person, by Teams, phone or email. I will always make time for those who need, and I will do my very best to support my colleagues, my family, my friends, and those in my community. It's really important to know that it's okay not to be okay. Many of us will have experienced difficulties with our mental health, and there is no shame or stigma in that. The more we can normalise discussions around mental health, the more connected and supported we will all feel in our day-to-day lives, and that will allow us all to thrive and be happy. And most of all, each and every one of us deserves nothing less.
Thank you, Sarah.